Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Uh, Today's July 8th, like I'm giving the date like it's a chronicle. But today it happens to be my oldest sister's birthday, so uh, I called her up and I sang happy birthday to her. She was thrilled. So, anyway, uh, this is kind of like a continuation of yesterday's video. I had a bunch of points, but I didn't want it to run too long, and I forgot some of them, and then today I've added some more. So, this is like there will be assorted stuff part two, but I'm not sure what I'm going to label it as, in the thumbnail. But anyway, this is pretty much the same thing as yesterday. Updates, data points, things to connect the dots and just give you guys an update on what's going on from our side of the silent war. Okay. First thing first video that I watched this morning, it had been only posted 11 minutes when I clicked onto it, and it only had like 24 views. So that's how early I caught it. Oh, real quick, I want to show you guys something. You notice my glasses? Uh, it is so stupid. I love it. I just love idiocy, at least on my part. But notice my glasses. This lens, the frame broke, and the lens fell out, and the only way to get it back together is I'd have to crazy glue the frame with the lens in it and yada yada yada. But guess what? This is the eye I don't see out of. I don't even need it. So this is the only eye I see out of, and so I have a lens there, and it works just fine. So I've just decided, instead of calling these my glasses, this is my glass, and this is deemed a poor man's monocle. So I amaze myself. I amuse myself. Yeah, this is my version of a poor man's monocle. So anyway, where were we? Back to seriousness. Okay, there's one channel that I follow, K2D4 Network, and I watch them often enough. They posted 11 minutes when I clicked on. They had 24 views, and the video was 21 minutes and 40 seconds long, and it was titled Masked, Masked, Masked Up, and then Uncut. So I'm watching it, and it was really good, really good. The guy put together a lot of different information from mainstream media, alternative media, quoting CDC, quoting the World Health Organization. You know how they've been so wishy-washy on masks and the whole 9 yards, and it was really good. And then at about 10 minutes and 12 seconds, it just cut out. Screen went black and said, "This video is unavailable." And that was it. So I went back to my homepage, on my YouTube, where I had the subscription feed, and it wasn't there. It was taken off. But that's where I got it from the subscription feed of my YouTube. Uh, and so I said, So I went to their YouTube channel, and it wasn't there. It's been basically scrubbed. This one that I was watching just been deleted from YouTube. So then I looked back and I saw a month ago they basically did the same video, but it was the edited version. Today they posted the unedited version, the uncut version, and YouTube, halfway through, YouTube went, it just cut it off, took it off, and buried it, hid it. You know, it's somewhere out in the ethers, I guess. So I thought that was pretty curious. So that started out, and then I want to talk about. I have two personal changes that happened to me, and we're culturalized to in this world society, not just United States, but in the world society, we're culturalized to abdicate our authority, our sovereignty. Uh, Always give your authority away, give your power away to somebody outside of you. You know, there's always something from your parents to you, from the moment you were here. And this is the way it was set up and part of the program. So I'm not beating up on anybody about it, but it's just the way we have all been culturalized, me included. But now, since years ago when I retained and regained my sovereign authority, that's where I speak from. And most people, because they can sense that I'm speaking with confidence and with authority, they like, oh, he's an expert, or oh, they assume I know what I'm talking about, or they think I'm arrogant because I'm speaking with my authority and not abdicating and holding my head down and following the program like like we're all culturalized to do. So that being said, uh, I've made, and my slash our spiritual growth slash awakening is an evolving, ever growing process. Nothing is etched in stone. Like I said before in my videos, if you don't agree with or if you don't resonate with something I say, no big deal. And something that I say now in this now moment, which is where I live in each now moment, if I come across more data that I resonate with, then I will adjust my perspective and quote change my mind. And that's my divine sovereign right and prerogative. People have issues with that. Well, you said this and you said that. Well, that was then, this is now. I've got more information, more data, and I've readjusted my position. That's, that's my right. That's my prerogative, as is everybody else's. So, uh, two things that I want to share that I have changed my position. Uh, a few weeks ago, a friend of mine, neighbor of mine, shared with me that he's following Q. By my suggestion, he's been wearing a tinfoil hat for a while, and he's now subscribed to this channel. Hi, Ronnie. And I talked to him the other day about this. But about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, he asked me a question. We were talking, you know, and he goes, "So are you going to vote for Trump? Are you going to vote this year?" Because he knew my story that I've never registered to vote, i.e., I've never voted. So he goes, "Are you going to vote this time?" And I go, "No, I don't think so." And I just automatically just went, "No, I'm not," because why spoil my record? So later that evening, when he lives right across the street. Later this evening, I'm home and me and Big Self are having a conversation, and it was suggested to me, consider the possibility that you might want to vote this year. And I'm going, well, like, why? And the suggestion was, because now you really have something that you believe in. You really have something that's you can lend your energy to and know that it's going to be right. Excuse me, I got to pause this and phone's ringing. I'll be right back. Hi, back. I hate to be not to be so tacky and not have my phone turned off while I'm recording, so there'll be no interruptions. But there's two phone calls that I'm hoping to get today that I really want to talk to. Okay, so that's why the phone's still on. So anyway, uh, so Big Me was going, well, you now have something because of Q, the alliance, the whole, the drift, the whole 9 yards, and that I am 100% supportive of that. So why not lend my energetic support through my vote? And I looked at that and I could see no issues with that. So I told Big Self, higher self, okay, yeah, this year I am going to register to vote. I'm going to vote for Trump. First time in my life I've ever voted for anything publicly, and I am going to. So I'm not stuck in the mud. I can change my mind, and because again, this is an ever evolving process, and this is something that I wholeheartedly support. So yes, there's a change of heart, a change of mind. The other one was I mentioned not too long ago about this guy, somebody Gregory Hallett. He's from New Zealand, and he's now making a public claim to the throne of England. And when I first interacted with it, a short video, and then I mentioned it a few videos ago, that I interacted with another one, a longer one, and I kind of had a good feeling about it as I was, interacting with the videos. And then afterwards, I got to thinking, or Big Me got to pointing out some perspectives and having me consider the possibilities of these perspectives. And I realized that no, this isn't good. That's the old way. That old monarchy structure is of the old civilization, for lack of a better phrase. No, of the old civilization. That's just simply it. Where we're headed, where we're ascending to into unity consciousness, everyone is sovereign. There will be no appointed sovereign over others. There will be no monarch over his vassals or subjects. That's the old demented structure, the old dysfunctional structure that we're leaving, that we're here ascending out of. And so no, I don't support that. And I have to call BS on it. Seems like a really nice guy, like I said, I've seen 2 interviews with him, and he could probably, probably nice to have a beer with. But I don't support this. I don't support any monarchy. That is not the way that it is in unity consciousness, and that's where we're headed, to unity consciousness. This does not fit, does not belong. It's part of the old structure. So it is what it is. I don't buy it. I don't resonate with it anymore. And again, I've changed my mind because I've got new data. Big Me shared some perspectives with me, and just, for lack of a better phrase, removed the veil, and I saw more clearly that no, that is the old, still a continuation of the old way that it is. Whoever this guy is, I wish him the best, but I don't support. In his reality, that may be true, but not in mine. I don't support the monarchy, any monarchy, any monarchy. I don't support anybody being held up on a pedestal greater than someone else. We are all equal. It's called unity consciousness. And that's where we're headed. That's where my focus is. So that's that. I'm gonna try not to I'm gonna try to I got a fairly decent list, so I'm gonna try to stay halfway focused. We know how that works. But anyway, yeah, I would try to stay halfway focused and not ramble a whole lot. So put my monocle on, and let's see, what was my next point. Okay, got that one. Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell. Now we all know that she's been arrested. Jeffrey Epstein's uh, right hand person, for lack of a better phrase. Uh, we know that whatever he knew, she knows. I honestly believe she was his Mossad, Israeli intelligence Mossad handler. I really believe she, just looking at everything and feeling it with my gut, she was the brains behind it. She was the one that pretty much called the shots. He was just the face, but she was the power behind the throne, for using that phrase. She was his handler, and because her dad was a Mossad agent, her dad was a MI6 agent, yada yada yada. Matter of fact, there is an ex-Mossad agent that he's not probably still, but he's claimed to be ex-Mossad agent, but he has publicly stated that he was Robert Maxwell's handler and he was Ghislaine Maxwell's Mossad handler. So that data's out there in the public sphere. I personally believe that he was, and that she was Epstein's handler. But the thing is, all of this coronavirus, everything that you hear in the mainstream media, they're not talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. She was arrested. They had to do that, but then, they're saying that, but you don't hear nothing else about it. It's all coronavirus. They even trying to go back to BLM, even though that's petering out, they're trying to milk that because they don't want you to talk about that, you know. Focus over here, because we got this going over here. We don't want you to look at this over here because it is happening. Well, that's one of the many, one of the many things that the mainstream media is distracting us from, or trying to distract us uh, from that, and because it all ties in. You know, I mentioned the Senate hearings. Well, a lot of those people will be tied up uh, in the Epstein madness. They're just so much, so much, so much. I was telling my friend, my landlord Fernando. I was telling him last night. It's just going to rattle cages. It's going to knock people's socks off, and that's why you guys, us right now, we have to be knowledgeable and aware and light focused, because when the other shoe drops and everything starts to really come out, which will be a little bit before the election and then for sure after the election, it's like we have to be there to hold people's hands. There will be a good portion of people with what is it, cognitive dissonance, where they can't get their head around it, and they'll want to just bury their head in the sand or hide under the pillows and just make it all go away or wish it all to go away. But this madness, the secrets, the lies, the deceit, the very, very demonic low frequencies of activities that's been going on this planet, all of that has to come to the light and be transmuted to the light in order for the entire planet and the civilization, the planetary civilization, to ascend. We cannot go to the fifth dimension with all of that still there, with all those secrets and all those untold stuff buried in the corners in the dark. We cannot ascend to the light without that stuff coming out. That's one of the many reasons we at Shrimp Can Foo are here. Because when that stuff comes out, everybody's going to just, the whole gamut of emotions, especially the darker, denser emotions, are just going to be prevalent. And that's what we need to do. What I was saying the other day, or yesterday, that would be the hardest thing to do, is to love the dark, is to hold them up to the light, is to transmute that dark energy, transmute it to the light. We have to not embrace it, but acknowledge it. Acknowledge it, and that it is what it is, and then take that energy and that dark, dense energy and transmute it and send it to the light. Transmute it to the light. Okay? That's what we have to do as PTMs, as Jim Kim Fu. So, yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell, there's just, I could just run off on a tangent, but I'm not going to. But you just keep your eye on that. Hopefully she doesn't get suicided like Epstein did. I hope they can keep her safe. I had another thought, but I had another thought that I just remembered, that I was running down this one alley in my head, and I was going, consider the possibility. But I'm not going to bring it up now. I'm going to just hold that back for a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. We just watch and see what unfolds. Okay, sealed indictments. Uh, as of June 30th, there's 179,800 plus sealed indictments. And this has been since October of 2017 to the end of June 2020. So 2.5 years or so. Yeah, roughly right around 2.5 years. 179, almost 180,000 sealed indictments. California has the most. I saw a map today, and California has like over 18,000 sealed indictments. And each sealed indictment can have multiple people, multiple names on that indictment, up to 34. So just imagine how bad this is. And this, I don't know if they're just indictments that are just in the United States for United States citizens, or are some of them having to do with international investigations? That's a good question that I'm going to try to find out. But just in the United States, I was looking at the map they had a map of the United States. In each state, they have the tally of sealed indictments. And I'm looking at California, and I'm going, which is where I live in California. I'm going, what two areas of society that really, really, really controls who we are, what we think, how we view the world? Hollywood, the entertainment industry, and social media, big tech. We're talking Hollywood and Silicon Valley. A whole bunch of heads are going to roll in Hollywood and Silicon Valley. Nancy Pelosi, you know who she is, or if you don't know, she's Speaker of the House of the House of Representatives of Congress. She's from California. Been been a congresswoman for damn near 40 years. Adam Schiff, he's from California. He's the Democratic congressman that was spearheading the Mueller investigation for a bunch of years, and he was one spearheading that hoax impeachment madness. He was behind all of that. Who else? Our illustrious governor Gavin Newsom, who happens to be Pelosi's nephew, and him and his tyrannical dictatorial perspective and attitude running California, like, we're getting ready to go back on lockdown again. It's like, wait a minute, the science doesn't support any of this. But yeah, we got back to mandatory mask, and he's trying to get us back to lockdown. Eric Garcetti, the mayor of Los Angeles, he 2 months ago he said we're Los Angeles and Los Angeles counties locked down till August. We just started July. I mean, when he said that was like 2 months ago. It's like he just said for the next 3 months, no, you can't do anything. You can't go to the beaches. That's like that thing with the 4th of July fireworks. They had banned the fireworks, and everybody said, hell no. You saw the riots or the protests at the beaches, a few months back, or I think it was last month or so. But anyway, yeah, all of these people, they've got their number. I'm not the least bit worried about that. Okay, and the last one because I kind of segued perfectly into from the mask and everything, and Newsom and his gubernatorial edicts that are so full of BS. The CDC just put out yesterday. They made a statement saying, according to the data, the United States is on the threshold. We're right at the cutoff point, the threshold of an epidemic. According to the CDC statement and their data that they've looked at, according to the data, the death toll for coronavirus has been dropping steadily for the last 10 weeks. Dropping steadily. Even though, like I was saying, they're focusing on the distraction now is on cases. Cases don't mean anything. How many deaths? Well, the death toll is getting so low, and the death rate percentage-wise is getting so low. According to the CDC yesterday, we're at the threshold of not being an epidemic. And if it continues, then why are we on lockdown if we're not in the epidemic? They're also saying now that they're officially saying this now, when everything's said and done, this will be no worse than the flu or the common cold. And we don't mask up and lock down for that, so why are we doing it for this? So it's not about the virus, it's about the election. It's about stopping Trump. But anyway, that's just, that is what it is. Okay, this is long enough. I've covered all my points, and I love you guys. Again, share the video if it's yours to do. Like the video so that we can get it more exposed through the YouTube algorithms. And I love you, and blessings on your journey, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. See, now, I lost my cursor. I had it there for a minute. bear with me because it's like there. I saw it moving around. There it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, see you guys. Bye.